Alrighty, let's call this the Millikan method. I want you to, later on, there's a link here, Secret of the Sperm. Go read that lecture from freeneville.com. That is what I'm going to dive into today. Because it all begins with this statement that a lot of people use as an affirmation. They go, I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. Now, why would Neville share that Millikan did this? By the way, Millikan was a poor boy raised in a nice environment. This is according to him. His father was a traveling minister. He had no money, but he gave us good books. We were always playing games, a strong body and a strong mind, but we had a code, a decent code, he says. And so Millikan wanted money, and he wanted it in this manner. So he locked himself in a room one day. He did not even have a glass of water for 16 hours. And in that interval, he repeated over and over to himself this thought that he wrote out. I have, in the present tense, I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. Neville says, well, he certainly earned it. He had all these things when he died. He had the respect of the world and so on. Now, here's the cool thing. Ready? This guy didn't know Neville's teachings, and he totally transformed his life by locking himself in a room for 16 hours without even a glass of water. And he repeated over and over and over and over and over to himself a thought that he wrote out for 16 hours. Now, here's the cool thing. I know this fella Neville Goddard. You know this fella, Mr. 2020. And they teach something really simple. By the way, Neville shares this at least 3 times, and if you dive into the details in each lecture, Neville isn't telling you to go to affirmations. Right? He sort of sounds like that way in one of them, but look at the totality of what he wrote, and look at the totality of what he taught, and look at where he says, skip affirmations and denials. By the way, feel free to do this if you want to, but I'm going to point out a few things. Number 1, you didn't need to do 16 hours of affirmations and lock yourself into a room without even a glass of water to listen to this podcast. You imagine something, you clicked a button. Here we go. You may have even imagined an answer about the whole Millikan method. And you clicked a button. You see, I didn't have to, thank Christ, right? My wonderful human imagination, that I understand how this works. Because my friend Coral, I swear to God, I love the way this works. I'm putting together a package on speedy states. I'm just tired of people adding in things and doing things slow. It's agonizing to me. It's sort of like whenever you watch a rom-com, romantic comedy, and you can watch them almost get together, no, don't do that. It's almost agonizing. Excuse me. It's almost agonizing watching people do things slow and insist on adding in mood music, candles, incense. I'll admit it. I enjoy some sage. I enjoy a candle once in a while, but they have nothing to do with manifesting. I enjoy pizza too. I even enjoy Ricky Gervais. Some people say he's an asshole. Some people say I'm an asshole. But Ricky imagined something. So did I. And meanwhile, I moved around the world. I'm making worldwide impact. 2.6 million listens. Do you think that indicates something? A couple thousand tagged success stories in the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard group by Manifesting Mastery course members. But I appear to digress. But I don't. Because when I say these things, you are instantly having imaginal acts. You're either going, this is pretty damn cool. I'm diving deeper. Or you're going, well, this guy just wants to sell shit. Rightio. So he's not like Neville, right? Neville wasn't a businessman. Well, Neville was. You know what's cool? So let me back up. So I'm working on this Speedy States package. And one of the things is I pull out what I just shared with you from The Secret of the Sperm about Millikan. A few hours later, Coral posts about this online. And people start doing what they do. All right? They think it's an affirmation. Me, please. All that stuff. No. Neville points this out for a reason. If you could move like Millikan moved. It's not about doing what he did. Millikan moved. And you can do it the slow struggle way. You could lock yourself in a car. You're in the summertime, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, windows up, no water, and chant until you pass out. I know they'll rescue me. I know they'll rescue me. I know they'll rescue me. And they might. We'll find out. Do you surrender before you die? Because here's the thing. The old you simply gets to die. We're exploring that in Remarkable. We've got the live Remarkable call in a couple days. And we're exploring Judas. We're exploring the power of decision. We're exploring the power of decide. Now, what's cool is whenever you look at words like decision, and you notice that it sounds like incision, could there be a reason why? When you look at decide and you read words like suicide and homicide, you think there could be a reason why? It's called making a clean cut. It's called speed. It's called you let the old man die so the new can live. See, here's what I noticed. Years ago, I had a business. I lived in the United States of America. And some Forex traders reached out to me and they said, will you come on down for 2 weeks? I stayed for 3. I went back, closed everything up, came here. And Victoria and I built something wonderful together. It didn't take me 16 hours of affirmations. That's about the time of the flight across the ocean. Imagine that. I could have invested 16 hours of time. I have ready and steady and something, and my thing bounces off my knees. I see, I could come up with something. But why bother? Why bother doing it slow? And here's the thing. It was all about the fact that Millikan moved. You'll notice Neville doesn't have a couple hundred lectures saying, lock yourself in a room without even a glass of water. He's got almost every lecture just saying, hey, move. Surrender to the state of your wish fulfilled, not the wish. It's these little tiny distinctions most people miss. Most people imagine the wish. Once you experience your wish, what implies your wish as fulfilled, something changes. A lack of water will do that, Mr. 20, right? Endless chanting. By the way, we've done a few podcast episodes where we've mentioned, even in Latin, the 2 feel-good brainwave centers that light up whenever you do affirmations. They also light up when you watch The Simpsons. They also light up when your favorite music comes on. Meanwhile, so Coral finds this, puts it on the internet. I go and I share my thing. This also gives me a chance to talk about this package that I'm putting together. I'm so excited for. Because speed, guys, we've got the surrender pack we just released. It's gold. I am getting so many yummy comments about that. But meanwhile, I really want you to start nailing scenes and states. Because when you add things in, when people tell me I don't use scenes, I let them know you don't understand what a scene is. You can't brush your teeth without a scene. You can't wipe your butt without a scene. A scene is how you experience what you experience. So is a state. And when you start getting that, you get why Neville taught scenes through his entire career. He didn't transcend them. Meanwhile, I think that's about it. If you got gold today, where do I want to send you? Make sure you're on the email list. I sent out some really good stuff this morning. And inside the post this morning, there was a link to a couple of our Way Cool products. Inside the post this morning, there was some stuff that most people miss. Because here's the number one thing. You can defend what feels good. You know what? Cheetos feels good until you have to brush your teeth. Cheese, I think cheese is a lot better personally. Real cheese, not even the store-bought stuff. Most of the stuff in the store is horrible. But I'm into the real deal, guys. Think about it. When is the last time you needed to chant for 16 hours, deprive yourself of even water to get poor or fat or lonely? Or, you know what? I'm doing okay, Mr. 20. I'm making 20 grand a year. All right, what if you made 20 grand a month? See, if it took you 16 hours to surrender to the state of 20 grand a year, 20 grand a month, boy, what's that going to take you? 160, 180, 172, 192 hours to surrender to that? Think it through, gang. There's a feeling that you want, an experience that you want, and there's a reason why Neville taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times to surrender to the experience of what implies your wishes fulfilled. If you got gold today, if you want to get more gold from us, I'm going to strongly suggest manifestingmasterycourse.com. Notice if you cringe at the price of $97. Notice if you cringe at the fact that it's a 90-day program. Notice if you go, oh, maybe someday. Yeah, this guy gives away a lot of free stuff. Maybe I'll just use that. Feel free to. Thing is, use it. Don't just listen to it. The other side of the coin. Oh, look at that. EO saying, don't talk about your manifestations. See, here's another one, right? Don't say anything about it. See, Neville also said, freely talk about it. People will just echo your own secret fears back to you. And if they echo your own secret fears back to you, guess what? Goody. You know your secret fears. Quash them. Okay. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. And if you're just getting started with us, if you didn't get today's email, EasyManifestingMethods.com. Go there, sign up for the 7 little videos. You'll also get the daily email. You'll notice I'm into short and sweet, 15 minutes max. I'm not into slow. Have a lovely day. See ya.